So we're going to be moving to scenes. Already we've been giving ourselves more than one session to finish paintings. I really want us to slow it as we're working. So this might take us 1, 2, it might take us 3 sessions. It might take somebody 4. Well, the rest go on to the next one. I want you guys to let this be okay. Like, let's slow it, because I feel like you're now at the stage, you're not beginning, even you, Louise, you're not beginners anymore, right? So you need more, it's helpful for you to get more help on finishing paintings, and really a lot of that is time. So let's get started, non-beginners. Let's get started, my good little students. Annika, I have no idea where this is.
It just looks like the wall, like it's leaning, like the windows.
It definitely is leaning. It definitely is leaning. It might be like a rooftop thing. It might be like, and I'm going to give you some leeway here in terms of how much you include, right? And you're going to notice that I have this wonky looking canvas sheet here with all kinds of markings on it. That's because I ran out of paper, canvas sheets this morning, and all I had are these testing sheets. And then I thought maybe I should demonstrate how to paint over a testing sheet so that you can, redo paintings. So I'm going to do that this morning. You do not have to do that. And I also thought I might try painting, starting, Louise, but if you're doing watercolor, you need to start with a pencil. Don't start with the brush. But those of you who are painting in acrylic, you might want to also try this morning, trying to get this straight. You might want to, I'm going to paint with a brush instead of a pencil for my underpainting, my drawing. And if you want to, you're welcome to try that as well. So the first thing I'm going to do here, as usual, is sketch in, to find our halfway point here. I'm basically going to cut this off here at 10. So we're not even going to look at the whole thing. Let's get that over just a little bit. Are you guys feeling excited about this? Is this a scene that seems appealing?
Yes.
Good. Good.
I feel slightly terrified, but that's excited too, right?
Yeah. That's a sign that you're ready to go, Annika.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the?
What the hell are we gonna?
What is that thing under the table? What is that brown?
You don't have to know. You don't have to know, right? That's the beauty of it.
I think it's a plant, the flower pot or something of this kind.
Is it?
It might be this here. That I believe is a little indent. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a flower pot because the tree's coming out. So don't get.
Yeah.
Yep. Good eye. So one of the things that I'm going to do as I sketch this out is I'm going to this cut off. My printer is acting up, so I had to get this printed from somewhere else, and it kind of cut off in a way I didn't really like. So I'm adding in some lines down here, right? Table goes down just a little further. I think that's everything. And like I said, as you get into your painting, you might find that you don't need as much information. But let's start by dividing this in half. And I'll send a picture of this so you can see it. Oh, let me use a different color for that. And Sandra, you're working on third doggy?
Yes, the one I just showed you.
All right, perfect. So send him over when you need something.
Okay.
Although you seem to be on a roll with that one. I think maybe, Sandra, are you finding that the commissions, although they're stressful, are kind of incentivizing, like they kind of keep you going?
In the beginning, I'm excited, but this is because this is the third one. It's not really
Yeah, now you're just like, I'm done.
Well, also, I didn't realize that when I chose this, I wanted to do them all of them slightly different. And this one is from a picture where it's really dark.
Right. That's interesting. So it's interesting to observe, like, you're now noticing what you like about sources, particularly as you're employing ink, right? This model, you're like, I need a certain kind of, this is really good learning.
Oh,
I love it.
I'm really picky. I made them send me dozens of pictures.
Yeah, good. As you should
maybe
be.
not but a dozen, but I'm not going to do a painting where I can't see the subject. That's really bad quality.
I think that's excellent. I think that's a really good. So incentive is there. So now we can kind of see where everything lies, right? And this is 8 by 10 inches, by the way. I don't know what that is in some centimeters. I'd have to look it up. Just an 8 by 10. This is also an 8 by 10. So I'll be doing a 1-to-1 transit here to make it even less confusing. Let's bring it down. So what I like to do, because my favorite underpainting color is red, and because I'm working in acrylic, so I know I can cover up any layers, I will actually give myself, so you guys are either going to do what I'm about to do in pencil, or you're going to do it with a paintbrush and a color, and one in a single color. Where's my group? I always think you prepare, and then I forget the one thing. I'll need in a moment. All right, so this is my palette paper. My favorite color. Anybody remember?
Turquoise.
What's that?
Is it turquoise?
That is absolutely true, but I've never started a painting with turquoise. Absolutely true. You don't have to remember. I'm not requiring to remember. I'm just wondering if everybody would guess. Here, you'll guess now.
Some kind of burnt sienna.
Cadmium red is my favorite way to start to do like a little drawing. And I think it's going to look really, so my biggest issue is I'm going to use this texture for background, but I'm kind of ignoring it right now, right? I'm going to just kind of sketch right over it and use whatever is helpful to me. So I'm going to take my little, let's see, and I'm going to paint with a fairly small brush. I'm going to paint with this small flat. So normally also I'd have you start with a big painting because this is detail and because I'm treating this a little bit like the drawing, right? Normally I'd have you start with a brush like this size to keep from getting too detailed. Hi, Emma. But in this case, because I'm going to be sketching with paint, you do not have to. And if you're working in watercolor, you should definitely do this in pencil. And if you're feeling unsure, you should definitely do this in pencil. But like here, I'm going to sketch out. I'm going to actually sketch in my little grid. So I'm finding my halfway point here and up here. This is actually how I will start a lot of paintings. I'll actually give myself a grid just halfway point here, halfway point here. And then I just won't draw the lines in because I want you guys to be able to see it well. I'm going to actually sketch them in. But a lot of times I will just kind of sketch at the corners and in the center so that I know I'll just give myself these dots, right? That let me see where it is. So you'll want to prep your canvas the same way. Let me get you some photos so you have good up close views of things. I found myself really excited this morning. I was like, this is so exciting. I get to like, you guys get to go to a new level. You're ready for that. And it's just, I just found that really thrilling. Yeah, no, let me stand over again. There we go. All right, so here is the sketch with the, here's the photo with the, no, that still looks a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there is your sketch. And then here in the yellow, I'm going to start sketching out your beginning marks. So here's the table, very simply, right? I'm not worried about all the striations. The table kind of stops here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this table. There we go. We're not going to deal with the inside stuff till we get the outside things. As always, I've got your chair. Here's your chair, outsides of your chair. So one of the nice things about like the beginning of a painting is to remember that at this phase, you don't have to get much more than the outside lines. You don't have to stress too much. We're just going to start with this. I'll send you a picture so you can see it more clearly and fully. We're focused, so we're really focused on sketching in the yellow lines. And yeah, now I'm going to take my little paintbrush, dip it in paint. And let's see, I'm going to start right here because I can kind of see. All right, there's the lead, the flowers. Oh, I think I made that too big. It's very easy to go too big. So just like anything, I'm not panicking. I've got a paint line in there, kind of scrubbing it out. And this time I'm going to give myself a little finish line so that I know when I go over, I kind of come over into this. Observe how easy it is to make things too big. So easy. Now remember this thing about the table. Oh no, what happened?
Drinking the water.
Oh, I caught Boy Muka drinking one of Melissa's like chemical waters. I know. And fortunately, it was one that was like nothing in it that was going to kill him. I was just like, dude. And here's a reminder about how tables work. Right? A round table works like this. I'm going to sketch it in. Remember, this is the halfway point of the table. And remember that this angle is kind of steeper. This angle is kind of comes around. This half is different because this half is closer to us. I'll send that picture over to you so you can really see it. Right, do you guys remember that? That whole, I think I've done that for you many times, the whole table, how the halfway point, this half of the rounded object is narrower because of perspective. Oops, I got like paint on there. Sorry about that. Okay. So when I come in and I sketch this, here we go. Out like that. I know that this angle is fairly steep. To about here, there's the halfway point, right? 3, I can see if I were to sketch, I'm even sketching in my middle line, even though it's not really there. Oh, whoa, shit, there's a squirrel in here. Hold on. All right, out, 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 out,
A
out, out.
squirrel
Come on,
and
come on, get out, out. Yeah, hey, hey, leave that, hey. Get. Come on, buddy. Where the fuck are you? Okay, get out. You, get. Get. Come on now. Come on, come on. Come on, you can get out. Get out. Come on, buddy. Come on, you need to get out. Okay.
It's dangerous with the cats.
Come on, you need to get out. Come on, buddy, you need to get out. You need to get out. Oh, I know. I'm not scared. Come on, come on, get out. Come on, sweetheart. I know you're scared.
Sometimes clapping your hands will make them go away.
I'm so sorry. The cats have chased a squirrel into the studio and I can't get him out.
Can you close the studio so the cats don't try to hunt him?
Oh, no. Spring out. Come on, buddy. You need to get out. Come on, I know you're. You're trying to hide. You need to get out. This would hurt. You need to get out. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. All right, come on. Out. Come on, buddy. You need to get out. You need to get out. Come on, shoot. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, you need to get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Come on. Come on. Okay. I swear to God, I have never seen that happen before.
You know, it's not by hazard. They do bring the toys inside the house to play with.
Right. Well, the kitties did. The squirrel ran in. They were chasing him, but they didn't
Yeah,
get
but
him.
they happen to be chasing him where they're going to play with him.
Yes. Well, anyway, sorry, guys. Hermes, give me a second. Okay. Come on, buddy. You need to get out.
He's still in.
Come on, guy. You need to get out of here. You. Scram. Scram. He's terrified. He still won't move. But anyway, I have put my 2 cats in, so maybe he'll eventually come out from Melissa's workbench. She's all right. Anyway, sorry. Back to painting. Wow. As opposed to Animal Kingdom. So notice, here's my little cream picture. I'm kind of using the lines to help me keep things in focus, but I'm not really getting anything too detailed. And I'm also, all the objects are kind of in relation to the tabletop, right? How they relate to the tabletop. It's kind of cool looking, isn't it? So if these angles on the table are very angled in and narrow, this kind of pops out. It's a little bit more like that. It's a little, you can see it actually kind of extends out a little bit. There's your table. And see how I'm kind of just working around. The rest of my subjects. So this really helps me as I place this in and I place the table. I can see this chair is kind of under here. Use what I've given you so you don't have to use just this for. Here is chair 1, very simply, not fancy. Okay, here it is, chair 2. There's a kind of a diagonal here at the bottom of the window. I'm looking to see how this chair is kind of in relationship to the table. I can see it kind of lines up here. So here it is at the top. Then there's this very angled line down. You see how this is working? Nothing. So we're going to start with that. None of the trees. We're not going to get to the windows yet. That's what I would like to see you do, either in pencil or in, and I'll take a picture of it so you can see the whole thing. I know it's not, can't quite see it. Here's my whole thing. I really love how this looks at this point. It's always like such a fun as you start to see the images emerge. So I'm going to spend just a couple minutes, you guys, trying to get, and Anik, I love seeing this. That is excellent. Good girl.
Trying, but
I see you. I see you. I see you, my little skill. Oh, hold on. Hey. Get. Come on. Come on. Get out. Yeah. No. Scram. Yes. Come on. Yes. All right, squirrel, you need to get out. It's time. There you are. Need you to get out. The window. Come on, buddy. Get out. Come on. Come on. Get out. Yes. Yeah. Come on, buddy. When you have something that you think has kind of approximates this part of the drawing, send it over so I can take a look.
Leah,
Yeah.
try maybe to startle him to get out. Try clapping your hands, but
Okay.
make sure it's the right direction.
Thank you. I'll dry it down. Hey. Yes. Yes. You are getting into a. Come on, Buzzy. Yep, you go. Right, go in there. Go in there. Go in there. Well, damn it, get out then. Get. Come on. Get out. Get out. 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 Come on. Shit. Come on. Come on. Out. Ah. Come on. Come on. Come on. You get out of here. Yeah. Well, it's not working right now. Why don't you guys send me your
You didn't
pictures?
clap your hands.
I did
No.
many times.
When I clap my hands, sometimes Siri said, "Oh, it sounds like you fell." Are you okay?
The problem is that there is a whole bunch of stuff this squirrel can hide behind because it's a big workbench with a lot of crap on it. It's Melissa's thing. So he keeps ducking behind. And the damn boy Buka is just sitting out there. I tried to put
Blocking
him
his
in
way out, right?
yes, I tried to put him in a carrier. And he wouldn't do it, but I might try again.
Well, good luck with that when there's that kind of
Right,
entertainment.
he's not that kind of cat at all.
Well,
Just
because
don't-
also he knows that squirrel is in there.
right. All right. And everybody, how's it going? Send it over if you've got something to show me. Fire. Huh. I think he's out. I think he ran out the window. I opened a window for him and I think he scooted out.
Oh, well done.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's see. Louise. So Louise, you have drawn things that aren't there,
Oh,
right? You can't see the back of the table. I want you to look really closely at this. And also you've got your table kind of rising. So let's see, it really should be something like this, right? This is a, don't worry, this is a beginner. It's a classic beginner error, right? To imagine where something is when you can't really see it. Let me get, I wonder if I can sketch. So number one, I think your table is a bit small. Number two, let's see here. If it'll let me edit. Okay. I see you've got, I have to say, I see you've got this thing going. So this really what has to happen is, here, I'll show you, I'm going to sketch it. Don't try to get the top of the teapot. You don't have the information left for that, right? You're getting too much detail. So it's like this. And then you can't see the top of the table because it's being blocked by other things. So these are the initial lines. That's really what's happening. Hold on. There you go. Can you see that? I went right on top of your drawing.
yeah.
Yep. That's really what's kind of going on. So your table has to extend a little bit further because you need room for this line. So this is not, there's no straight line back here. You can't see the back of the table. You've got to work with the actual line of what you can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Keep going, but pretty good. One of the things you learn when you start doing this often enough is what you think is going on is not really going on, right? What your brain makes these separations of things. And while they totally make sense when you're trying to identify what something is, table, chair, plant, right? There you go, Emma. That looks so. Emma, you also have a this looks good. Actually, do me a favor and draw a line through the middle of your table, like I did, where you think the halfway point is. And I think you'll see. I feel like this part is coming down too low, but maybe I'm wrong. I like that. This is otherwise looking really great. Excellent. Right, but when we're drawing, we don't necessarily think about things like a table. We can see part of a table. We can see part of a. We can see part of a table. We can see, we can see some things on top of the table. We can see what's going on behind the table, right? That there's like the separations are less clear when you're working with right brain because subjects kind of intersect each other in weird ways. All right, now let me go clean up the mess I made. Melissa's gonna give me a terrible look when she gets in the in my studio. Now that one has got away, they're like just assessing every single squirrel that's in the area.
If they can do it again. Now
Yeah.
that you've completely ruined, scuppered their hands.
Now that I've
we could
ruined
find
it.
another subject.
Fortunately, cats don't hold grudges.
No,
Right? They don't really, they don't really care about that kind of stuff so much.
yeah, I do a bit. My
I
brother
mean, they
once
do. Hermes
My-
is still looking for it. He's like, he's going back under. He's like, where is it?
My brother once told me that his cat brought in like a huge grasshopper,
Oh,
and my brother kicked it out of a window. It was a window,
right.
actually. And the cat looked at him like, "What did you do this for?"
Yeah, what? I did all the work.
Right after it, like, you silly human.
Yeah. Hermes is looking underneath the workbench. Here, hold on a second. I've got to
He's
do
still
this.
looking for it.
He's still looking for it. He can smell it, I bet.
That too.
Oh, he's shit. Come on, get out of there.
You found it?
Go, 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 squirrel. Damn it. Out, 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 out. Shit. It is still in here.
No. So open the window again. That's probably his best avenue of exit.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Come on. Fuck. Come on. Out. Out. Come on, out. Out, 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 out. Get out. Get out, dude. You need to get out. Out, out. Come on. There you go. Get up. There we go. Get the foot out. All right. There we go. All right. Phew, now I saw him leave. Okay, now I know he's out. Now I know he's out. Good, Annika. That looks pretty good. Don't forget your line here for the chair. And now, of course, if you want to, I like how your chair, I really like how this chair looks. You think you've got that pretty good. And now remember, minus squirrel, sorry. Yes, art classes and squirrel interruption. Squirrel interrupted. So when I add in my other things here now, I can kind of get my cream pot in. There's a cup here. And a saucer. But you can see that, like, depending on how, if you're working small like I am, there's not actually that much room. Everything's a lot smaller and the attention to detail is going to be a lot less than you think. I think the most detailed thing will be the French press. Right here. Have your cats ever managed to catch a squirrel, Sandra?
No, but I help the squirrel.
Right. I think
The
you're
thing
right.
is that usually it happens in my garden. I clap my hand, I try to warn the squirrel, but also the squirrel can go up vertically on a fence, whereas the cats cannot.
Right.
So that always
That's
saves
the
the squirrel.
hope. That's our hope. All right. Now I'm getting in, not too much detail, just a little bit. You see how I'm kind of slowly and steadily sketching this. And then maybe at this point, if I decide I want to do this, I might want to add in my diagonal lines. And I might want to sketch in part of the tree. So you see how I'm very simply, here, I'll take a picture so you guys can really see this. How I'm making that sort of simplified. Really, this is a lesson about simplifying, which I think is even more fun. Oops, sorry, standing up. When you start taking printmaking and you get, like, simplifying, I think makes even more sense when you're working in printmaking, and then you're like, ah, here's how I bring it to painting. There we go. So, right, so now I'm about here. No, actually a little bit, about the halfway point, actually. Is where the top of this thing goes. And then this is at an angle. Guess my angle. How's it going, Sandra?
I'm just taking a little break.
Gotcha. This, I know, kind of comes to the, it starts here, but it kind of comes to the edge of the table, right? And then this line goes straight across. I don't know if anybody's finding a sense of, like, a little freedom. And then I'm going to sketch out the edge. I'm not doing any of the leaves yet. I'm just kind of sketching the envelope of where that tree is going to be. I don't think I'm going to include the pot on this side. We'll see. Oh yeah, and then there's one more. And it comes at an angle like that. So see, I've sketched fairly loosely. Let's see where you're at. Oh, very good, Louise. Excellent. Yes, you got it. Excellent. Now, okay, it's like surprising how small things are, isn't it? When you start to work them, like when you look at these, you think they're huge. Really, maybe only this and this will have detail. Everything else is going to be very simply rendered. Beautiful. So yeah, now you're going to kind of sketch in, and then if you feel like it, and this is what I like to do at this point, I might even add a second color. This is how most of my underpaintings look these days. I'm going to add some yellow onto my palette and my knee, apparently. Here, let's see. I want you to see this. See, so there's yellow here. And then I'm literally I'm going to use the red for the dark. I'm going to take a slightly bigger brush. And the yellow is going to be the kind of lighter stuff. So the window is mostly kind of light around the subjects. Whoops. I kind of figured we wouldn't get Diana today. I was hoping she would find the time, but I doubt. She's pretty busy right now. So can you see how I'm doing this? I'm using my yellow for my lightest areas, which is like really kind of the windows outside around the bars. I'm covering up some of my grid lines at this point because I don't need them in the same way. This here, even though there's a dark plant here, I'm kind of spilling in my yellow because I can see it here. You can see here. Because I know that it's kind of dark and thick in some places, but the yellow, so I'm sort of dragging in just a little bit of yellow there. Yellow here. And then I'm going back over with my, yeah, now I'm really getting an injured dog for me who is pissed off that I ruined his first proper hunting opportunity. He's mad. So see how I'm going back over darkening the pot, the coffee. Now the coffee carafe has some areas that are yellow and some that are kind of dark. So I'm doing a little bit of both. Simply, I'm not trying to draw it, that you can see there's no like, I haven't drawn the handle yet. I haven't drawn the lid. I'm just kind of looking for the light, dark, bigger shapes. There's kind of a plate here that's pretty light. There's a plate here that's pretty light. Pitcher, coffee cup, platter. And then everything around it, I'm going to kind of make it darker. Even though this table isn't quite as dark as everything else, I'm going to darken it around the light things sitting on it. Because I know I can lighten that later. And then I can see, of course, a very big light area here, which helps define my ferns. And see how now I'm starting to just cover up. I'm covering up over the blue, but some of it's peeking through, and maybe that will be helpful to me if I want to convey city. I don't know if anybody's finding this kind of fun. It's weird, right? It seems so basic.
Challenging.
Challenging, but also don't you feel a little relief? Like you don't have to get all the detail in.
That's
kind
true.
of focuses you in a different way. I always just feel this sense of relief that I don't have to, you know what I mean, paint everything. I've totally decided to skip the pot and the plant on this side. So I'm just kind of darkening. It has this almost like a, and see how my underpainting or whatever, my mistake, my like, from another class testing marks. Do you see how they kind of like, they don't really get in the way like you think they would? So now I've covered like my entire painting with kind of a sketchy underpainting. It's still too heavy. As I'm trying to establish my coffee urn, it's easy to get too thick. So you can see I've gone in and out a couple of times. Yeah, I kind of like it. I really like paintings at this stage. I think they're neat. They have a here, I'll send mine over. Ani, that's Onyx, so you also be careful. This is bigger. Oops, shit. Sorry, I just dipped.
No. This is
My-
I'm correcting the table.
Gotcha.
The things on the table.
Gotcha,
because
gotcha.
The plate should be closer to the middle.
Yeah, they also,
line,
they're all
so-
kind of running into each other a little bit
Yep.
more. Hope I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that my brain is tired, and I wanted to make the order.
I
on
got
the
you. You
table.
wanted to make more order. I'm gonna send you guys this up close so you can really see how loose it is. That's how loose my beginning painting is in terms of, see how I'm just kind of establishing these things here. It's not, there's not that much detail. It's really tempting to want to do that. But what I find that yeah, it's really less about the subjects and more about how light and dark are playing.
Yeah,
If I
I'm sending,
wanted- Let's see, how's it going?
I'm sending it
Okay.
to you now.
Are you happy with it? Are you feeling?
I'm tired of it, I think.
You're sick of, you're really just, you
Gonna have
totally, here's the thing, you totally did it. It's like really hard to expend the energy when you've already done the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. I get it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see what, Sandra, you made this better.
Really?
So yeah, the only thing I would do is darken. I like how the back is. I know you've lightened it a bit. I think this is a really harsh transition. Can you see where I'm pointing? Right here.
Right.
So you gotta darken this little light rough
Okay.
because you can see it's like mostly it kind of, there's his little cheek and then everything else is his neck. So it's actually a further away thing. So it all should be pretty dark except for that light area. I think you did it better. I think you worked with a really tough subject.
So just that strip here, you mean? Look at
Yeah.
me. You mean the strip below where the jaw is, I guess.
What's that?
You mean that strip here?
Yeah, yeah. So there's this like bit of his cheek that's right there. And then underneath it is neck. It looks like one kind of swoop, but part of it is actually pushed. The neck is pushing back, which means, right, it's darker and less defined than that little pop of cheek up there at the front.
Okay. Thank you. Like that, or is it still too light? It's still too light, isn't it? Yeah, I can see it in the camera. It's
Yeah,
still-
yeah. And you know, darken it more than you think. It's crazy.
It's just that that's all you have, right? Over darks and lights. So when you start losing that, I'm just worried about losing the contrast.
Yeah.
It's a feast. Yeah, can I just hold it up? That's better,
Yeah.
right?
Let me see. Can I pop you up for a second? Yeah. And bring the dark in. So blend that dark edge further over, right? So that there's a, on
here or
the,
further there?
his cheek, on the right, the dark edge on the right of that, pull it. Just take some water and a brush and,
Right,
yeah,
because there's a
kind of
light,
pull
just
it,
like-
right? Because it's just too strong. It's so funny how these edges is everything, right? You just need to reduce that edge.
right. There's like a white line there somehow. Like this.
Yeah. Even more. Yes, but like that. Exactly. That's exactly it. Bravo.
Oh, thank you, Leah. Phew, I'll be pleased to-
Honestly, this was hard. I looked at that and went, dang, that's a hard one. I'm not sure I would take on that commission.
Is very. Oh, you mean before or this one today?
All of them. It's a tough subject. I feel you're really communing with that guy.
It's
I
the first
feel
time I'm doing a long hair dog.
Yeah. But you've
Been a
been
long day,
practicing, hair and fur and working with the marks that you want to show that. I feel like this is a great preparation for me. You're really ready.
Yeah, I hope she likes it. This was actually her brother's dog. She's a bit estranged with him, so hopefully she can give him one of the pictures and make up.
I think she will. I think that's
She's one of
maybe
these
the,
people who hasn't a little bit grumpy with her brother, her parents, but one day she's going to lose her parents and she's only going to have her brother left, so she has to.
yeah, she's going to have to figure it out.
People don't realize what a big hole it leaves to lose your parents. As annoying as they are when they're alive.
Well, right. It's about getting the journey,
It's just accepting them for who they are and what
who
it
they
is.
are, right? And realizing what it feels like if they weren't there. Even
Yeah,
irritations are like our thing.
I'm glad that I realized very early on in my, as soon as I turned an adult, I thought, whoa, now I'm an adult. Now I can judge myself harshly like that. And my parents actually are not that bad.
Yep, they did the best they could. It's really hard.
I think with time, it just basically, there's more understanding.
Now, this is a woman who's almost 40 and she still hasn't figured it out, So
Oh,
they're not perfect, but,
But she doesn't have kids, right?
No,
That's
she'd
the
like
problem.
to.
She didn't have kids.
Well, I didn't
So,
have-
but yeah, but you have cats, which are your kids.
I didn't at the time, really.
I mean,
I
it
think it's
probably
just-
depends so very much.
It depends on the personality. I think you're right. I think you can get it. Sandra, I think your experience though is you spent a lot of time. You were kind of early on. You grew up fairly young, right? You had like this experience, and so you get that. It's more prescient to you. People who are kind of super well taken care of their parents can really take that for granted for a lot longer.
Yes, I think not living at home so early.
Yeah.
Mm,
But anyway, so I'm hoping these many dogs will work towards that.
It's actually sending them on a mission.
Well, maybe the mission probably comes from the dog.
I have a friend also who says, and she says this about mothers, that like mothers in particular, mothers and daughters, it's really easy to, she says daughters spend a lot of time trying to prove their mother wrong.
Oh, yes.
And that is like, and I found myself doing that into my late 40s. Probably, if I were to be honest, even occasionally sometimes now, I have to catch myself going, wait a minute, she is a person. Like, she's not like a superhero who is supposed to be perfect at every like goal. And it's not just that. Girls are so much like their mothers. Like they walk like their mothers, they talk like their mothers, they ape their mother, right? Like even when you're like, and then so part of defining yourself as an adult is to say, I'm not like my mother. So you look for every nitpicky thing you can to like,
particularly those that resemble you, I suppose.
right,
Oh, yeah.
right. And if they don't, then you're like, no, I'm not. And if they're terrible mothers, you're like, yeah, no, that's not like me at all. But like I used to, have I told you guys this? I used to be a bartender, and I used to bartend for this event. It was a mother-daughter shopping day in a shopping mall of all things, in a department store for like people who spent over a certain amount of money. So they would close the shop to everyone but mothers and daughters who had spent a lot of money at the store, and let them come in and wander around and shop, and I would serve them drinks. And you could tell every single mother and daughter, even if they were separated and across the room, absolutely the same. From the hair toss to the slouch to the, the half smile or the snip, whatever it was, like they looked so, it was like, it was so instructive to me how much as people we learn by the adults, right? We learn by imitating. By imitating the adults around us, and then you have to reject it to like. So anyway, I think people are just hard on mothers in particular, but
Yep. But it's
long
basically basic social. From my experience, when I look at it, when I talk with my friends who are also moms, it's basically like social training that you have to be perfect, otherwise you perfect or nothing. Simply.
Right. Right.
So
it's not really fair.
That's very harsh, honestly. And about what you said about mothers and daughters being similar, till now, some people think that me and my mom, we are sisters.
Yeah.
Simply. No, it's not just because of the fact that there is a 23 years difference between us.
But you're similar.
But it's just basically, like copy pasted.
Lucky you. I think my mother and I are similar. I think I look a lot like my dad, but my mother and I have a way of holding our arms and having a conversation that's absolutely the same. And yeah, and I feel lucky about that, right? Don't you, Anik? It's not too bad.
I mean, it's really good for my husband because he at least knows how I'm gonna look like in 23 years. So that's one of the things. And second thing, I think that with time, because when I was 20 myself, I was just stupid, and let's be honest, that's true about majority of people, because we don't know each other yet. Most of us.
We don't know.
Right.
So honestly saying, when I was 20, I wasn't appreciating it. And then I grew up a little bit more and started to appreciate the fact that there's so much in common. It was easier to understand lots of things, lots of good and bad things about it.
Okay, Leah, I'm sending you what I think is the final.
Let me see.
Which I'm promptly going to ruin with a seal.
Oh my God, life is so unfair.
I think it's still too harsh, that line, isn't it? But
yeah, even more. Just bring over. You know what you should do? Just take some of your dirty, inky water and brush over on it. But you know what, Sandra? It's great. I love it. I mean, it's just this dog and you are like this. You're like connected. You got him.
I like to think.
What a blessing.
Think of communicating. She was a very sweet animal.
She is definitely communicating with you. You guys, these are looking so cool. By the way, Emma, excellent. Anik, excellent. And Louise, look at Louise's, you guys. She took the letter of this assignment. Look at how cool that is. Oh. Isn't that neat? Everybody's looks great. Everybody's looks great.
It looks like it was painted with coffee, which makes me want another coffee. I know,
right? Get it? Me too. Drinking more coffee, right? Getting more coffee in me right now. You guys, this is the exciting thing about this group. I cannot wait. I'm like so excited to be working with you now because we're now really taking it. And notice these don't look the same. They don't look the same, right? I'm not trying to get you to look like mine. Emma's looks like Emma's, Louise's look like Louise's, you know, Onyx look like Onyx. So it's definitely, Annika, you want to send yours? Or are you feeling like you're still struggling away with it? I mean, we all should be struggling away with it.
No, I am struggling, but I'll take a picture of this one.
Okay. And now we can start kind of going over with the colors of our choice. I think you have the thing in color, but I just want you to feel like you don't have to use the colors. So once again, I'm going to keep this source black and white. What? No. What happened?
The tape tore it.
The what?
God
The
damn
tape
it.
tore it.
No. Where? Show it up. Hold it up. It might not be that bad.
I glued it back, but here,
Hold on. Let me see it.
here. I put the tape back up because it was so
Oh
horrible.
yeah, that's okay. You're just gonna frame it a little bit.
What do you mean
In
frame
fact,
it?
You
I
can
wasn't
just
planning
cut
to
it.
frame
Just cut it. Just cut it so it ends at the edge of the tape. Literally cut the edge off.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. It'll be fine.
I didn't know the tapes could do that. These
I
soft
didn't know
tapes
that
I
either.
import from Japan.
Yeah, sometimes
I-
it only does it when it's fucking with you. So
Or I will risk saying that basically this one wants to stay with Sandra.
Well, what am I going to do
maybe
with it?
that one, maybe that's true.
What am I going to do with it?
Oh, Annika, that's looking wonderful.
Oh, what a disaster.
Just keep going. All right, so Annika, now you're gonna start getting in your darks and your lights. So really observe, the darks
Yeah.
are really kind of down here. Mostly
Yeah,
they're
I'm gonna
down
start
here.
with paint now. I'm stop drawing. I think about cats and stuff. I think I told Diana. Do you remember?
Ah,
like,
look, Leah, what am I going to do? That's the actual painting.
Let me see. Hold it up. You're just gonna cut it off right at the edge.
But you see it at the border all around, so.
Yeah, that's okay then, but cut off the border. She doesn't need a border. Cut off the border. You don't need the border on the other side because it's just white. Just cut off the border. Just cut it off. Like literally.
Okay. Oh, so annoying. You don't think I can glue it back on?
No. That's okay. I think this is a lesson of some kind, right? So I want you,
To be more
I want
careful
you to work.
remove the tape.
No. I want you to work with what's being given you. So cut the border off all around. Just take a scissors, cut it off.
It's so annoying.
I've had that happen with tape sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it never happened.
I didn't fix it. But I have no good advice, but I know it
It
can happen.
never happened to me.
My advice is cut it off. That's what you do. That's really all you can. Sometimes that's
Because
all-
yeah, the thing is that if you glue it and they're going to put a passepartout on it,
then
if I
it'll
cut
kind
it
of
off-
deteriorate. Yes.
if I cut it off, you're not going to have to put the passepartout is going to have to come on top of the painting
Right.
wall.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's so annoying. It's no glue. I'm going to glue it now. My glue is bad.
There we go. Oh, sorry, Sandra, I didn't mean to. Yeah. All right, Emma, have you submitted work? Louise, have you submitted work to the student show? I would like you to, please, even if it's just 1 or 2 paintings, I'm gonna resend over the link right now. Please submit to the student show. Any work that you did in 2022 that you like, no limit. It's very easy. Here, hold on. Next week, we're gonna like kind of review the student show. It does not matter if it's not perfect. Find it. It's a self-submission. So and I would love to see a picture of your workstation as well. Your quote unquote, your studio. By the
I have
way,
to say, I think my picture of my work studio is the best.
did you send it in already?
Yeah.
Awesome. By the way,
is.
Annika, your coyote came out really well. I would like to credit you on that here. I'm going to
Thank you.
forward it. It really did. I'm super pleased. Here's the link. I want to
Thanks,
see
Lou.
yours. Okay, now that you said it, I've been kind of briefly sketching it, but I could see people were submitting. So, yeah, and Emma, and don't forget, next week on Saturday at the normal time for beginning drawing, we have Paul Zepp doing a political cartooning class.
It's next week at what day? What day?
Saturday, October 22nd. So for you, Sandra, for me, it's 8 a.m. and Annika, it's 8 a.m.
11.
For you, it's 11. For Louise and Emma, for Louise and Annika and Emma, it is 5 p.m. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Paul Zepp, he told me he's going to do, I just talked to him a couple days ago. He said he's going to do he's going to have you practice 3 different faces. It's going to be really fun. And this Sunday, of course, we have printmaking with Lotto. The following Sunday, we will have caricature drawing with Laura.
I thought last Sunday we had Lado, so this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday, no, we're not going. It all depends on his kid's soccer schedule.
I can't make it this Sunday.
Yeah, you have to look at the schedule. Month to month, it will change. So it is in the October schedule. And in fact,
So he is giving a class this Sunday.
He is giving a class this Sunday.
Sorry.
So the October
I'm going
schedule, yeah, and the problem is his schedule is so frantic. We're just going to each month have to, don't assume it'll be every other. It might be 2 in a row. It might be 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end. I will delineate it with a schedule for each month.
Thanks, I'll look out for that.
And let me see here, Thursday. I'll send this over to you guys because here is the schedule for October for all the classes, including the special mental health week stuff, which everybody's invited to. There's the Art at Work weekly schedule for October, and it has everything.
By the way, Leah,
Yes.
you don't remember your heat pumps brand, do you? I'm completely obsessed with them now.
I'll have to look it up. I gotta tell you, ask me this again next week. I've had the hardest week of the year this week.
Oh, really?
I have, it's not terrible. It's just because I have this big art show that I'm in the middle of. Classes started this week. I have a new schedule for my part-time job that I have.
You could time it better,
assimilate.
like you could take 2 weeks off.
I might do that, but I don't really like, I might do that. I think at the end of the year, I might do that, but yeah, it's, and then trying to get all this mental health week stuff scheduled and all the new things scheduled. I've also been thinking about sort of handing off some of the classes in 2023 to other people, but I won't do that with this class. And I won't do that with the Tuesday night class and the Wednesday class. I feel, and the Sunday class, I feel like those are like really, this class, you guys are just you're like my atelier students now. So I want to just keep you going. Also, there is as you might have seen at the beginning of this lesson, we have a class that is scheduled for India and Asia and Australia time next week as well, a beginning drawing class that starts, that will be on Saturday morning their time, or Saturday morning or afternoon, depending.
So at what time is that for you?
It's 9 p.m. on Friday
So
night.
9 p.m. for you, which is actually
Manageable.
also it's midnight for me.
Yeah, it won't work for you.
Yeah,
It
so
won't
but-
work for anybody else here. I mean, unless you want to come on at 9 a.m. Yeah, unless
And
you
not
have
midnight.
insomnia, then you can pop on, Sandra. Just say hello.
There you go.
But yeah, nobody in Europe will want this class. I barely want it,
For
but
them.
9 to 11, I think I can do. So this is important to get people to this class, because if I don't see a lot of people at this class, I'm not going to add it onto the schedule. But if I see
So
a
Rashmi
lot
is
of
gonna
people at
advertise
this
it.
class, yeah, I see a lot of people at this class, I will. Yeah, so Sandra, that schedule I just sent, if you send it, also, I think, Sandra, I sent you last week an email with all the information in it too.
Oh, sorry. I've
If you wanna-
been flat out myself.
I feel you. I feel you. Do you want me to resend it so you can send it to all your friends in Asia?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay,
you-
I'll
if you have
resend
to
it
make
to
it,
you.
Thank you.
And if you just forward it, it has all the information about how to
Thank
join
you.
those classes. I mean, there's a lot going on. It's always hard to say. So for those of you who are painting, like Emma, I noticed you were kind of done with your base layer. You can now go, if you want to, you can now start kind of layering in colors. Oh yes, I was going to, before I got distracted by this very interesting conversation we're having about mothers, find you the original source. Where? Ah, yes. So here's the source in color. But you don't have to use these colors, like I said. You really don't. You can use whatever colors you want. What am I feeling right now? I'm not exactly sure, so I'm going to wait, let this dry. It's still a little bit wet. You could use any colors that are dark and light, but now I've just sent you across the thread this one.
Hmm.
In tomorrow's classes, we're going to start with a still life, which will not really be exactly the same as doing a still life in real life, because of course the camera is taking a picture of it, but there is going to be no photo. I'm going to set up a still life, just a simple one for tomorrow's drawing class. So if you want to join.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you about my cat. He's like
Yes.
here now. He's always listening. So I was telling Diana this, but I didn't tell you. And a couple of times ago, I was telling you I had a mouse in my house, and you guys were asking, so what is your cat doing about it? And I looked at him and I said, so what are you doing about it? That next night, he came and delivered a headless mouse.
Wow.
Took it, he killed it, and he gave me the body. Me and my husband. He left it right outside the bedroom.
Jeez.
Okay, anything else you want to complain about? So, oh no, that's good. That's very good. But it was so funny because we were just talking about it, and some of you were saying that. So
Did you
what
find
do
the
think?
rest?
Huh?
Did you find
I
the
think
head?
he must have eaten the head because I never found it. I hope he ate
Oh
it.
my God. Yes, that's what you hope.
It was funny. And then another thing that was funny was with my coyote. The more I painted her, because she was a mangy coyote we always saw around there. And she was like, she was kind of sad, but she was really cute too. And you know, so the more I painted her, the more I started liking her.
Oh.
In the end, I was like really feeling so happy that I painted her, thinking that, you know, maybe she would appreciate knowing that she became.
I'm sure she would. You know, like sometimes when you take pictures of animals, particularly wild animals who are not used, they know what you're doing. They're okay with it. They like it.
If they, I think if they sense your goodwill, right?
Yes, and I always find the animals that I paint, they have pleasure in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like anyone at being looked at and paid attention to you. Wait till you go into a figure drawing session and you draw a live,
Mhm.
you know, a person, because then you're really good at, like, you know, reading what's happening. And it is absolutely like a profound experience to look at somebody or something and really get them, not your idealized version of them, not an idea that you're laying on top of them that is not them, but actually them. It's pretty wonderful.
I did that, but not in painting. It was a modeling. I mean, like clay, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you take a class or were you just playing
Yes,
around with
I took a class.
it? Fascinating.
And my best things are a crocodile and this woman who are made headless, I think. But she's not bad. Do you want to see them? I'll take photos.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Of course.
Jeez.
Here's Muka now coming in and gingerly smelling everything. Like, I can smell a squirrel in here too.
Yeah, it sent where I am at now. The colors.
It's kind of fun, right? Is anybody's kind of enjoying this process as I can see you guys are all getting it.
Yeah, it was less
See.
terrifying than I thought.
Less terrifying, that, right? I love that,
Yeah.
Annika. I love that you're like starting to, yeah, that's looking great. I love that. There you are with your favorite alizarin crimson. And look at that pretty peach color. Just keep on going. I am gonna slow down just because this yellow isn't drying and I want it to dry. So I may or may not get more work in on this today, but you guys are welcome to go ahead as you like. Louise, I know we're kind of leaping you ahead, so you ask any question as you're going along, right? Make sure to frequently reach out, but you seem to be doing pretty well.
I'll ask a lot of questions. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I've made a decision to get acrylics because I have a feeling that that's gonna make a difference.
It's going to make a difference for you. Yeah, it really will.
I find it very hard to paint in this loose kind of style with watercolors.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to really paint in a detailed way for some reason. I don't know why, and maybe it's not the watercolors, maybe it's me.
It's definitely you. It's partly you because you will want to paint that way in acrylic too. The difference is you can't correct it as easily in watercolor.
Mm.
That's the difference. You cannot correct. So what you're going to find is that it's going to be easier for you to learn how to correct it. Then you'll return. One day this class will return to watercolor. I don't know when, but someday. And you'll see, oh, these are great.
They're in a cabinet. I didn't take them out of the
They're
cabinet.
wonderful. Yeah, Sandra, these are really good.
The crocodile I spent a lot more excited about than the woman. In fact, I finished the crocodile one day while the woman was naked there. She looked at me and I said, that's not you. You know, it was also difficult because it was before the age of internet, really. So it was difficult to get a proper picture of a crocodile.
That's wonderful.
Very messy.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, but it was very messy.
It's very
It was more messy than I expected. I think I would have enjoyed it more as a kid when you don't care about these things. I mean, you have to wear an apron and everything. I'm not going to do the seal today.
I think that's a great idea.
Because it comes already. And also, I'm expecting a new seal from China, so I'll see what it looks like. Actually, I've got.
Those are really nice, Sandra. I just looked at them.
Oh, thank you. I mean, not a new seal. I'm expecting a new red paste. The crocodile, actually, I had made a mold because I wanted to do some in metal.
Ooh.
But it was very complicated to do the mold in latex, but it kind of didn't travel well. And I had problems with the toes breaking off. It didn't travel well. In the end, I threw it away.
Right.
It was so involved. More coffee.
So maybe it's possible we might finish this one next week. We'll see how it goes.
Of course you do. Oh, you know it. Stay in your own garden, stay on.
Leah, what would you use for this kind of silver, like this French press is? What mix that would be?
I would use a little bit of, I would use white and a touch of blue.
Mhm. Mm. Thank you. I'll try.
Yes.
It's like tricky because it must be kind of cold blue, I guess.
I was thinking more of a turquoisey kind of blue, maybe a
Oh.
cerulean,
Oh, all right.
phthalo.
It's a good idea.
I don't think Prussian is going to do it for you. And I don't
No.
think ultramarine will do it for you. So you would want to, if you don't have anything sort of green, a greeny blue will be better, is my thought. But I mean, you know, you can try it and decide, yeah, still it's not dry.
Well, you probably will be. So I'm not gonna venture.
There you
far
go.
from what you
I
are.
basically I'm getting you to put turquoise in your painting, which is my favorite color. So mine is Jessica Pryor's favorite color.
It has to be somehow influenced, yeah.
Yes.
At least at the very beginning.
All right, so Sandra and Emma, I'll make sure to reach out to you about next week's presentation. It's not really a presentation. I just want you guys to talk for a little while. Emma, it'd be neat to have some examples that you've been showing us of the kind of things you're at it, you know, like these cool little cartoony things that you're doing.
Would you want me to put them up on the screen, you mean?
Nah, just hold them up
All right.
or send pictures across.
Okay.
Nothing fancy. It's probably just going to be all of us, so it'll be very casual.
If I make it in time, because we're traveling actually on the next Friday, it's not gonna be just us because my mother wants to join. Talking about mothers.
Yes, talking about mothers. We cover it all in here. Chasing squirrels, underpaintings, simplifying, mothers. Hello, little lady. Cats.
And what's the meaning of life?
Yes, and also talking to our appliances. Let's not forget that.
I swear I've started doing that now too.
It's pretty, it doesn't hurt. It does not hurt.
No. I figure.
They like it. But now I'm gonna.
I mean, everyone talks to their cars, but yeah, now I talk to the others too.
Yeah. Cars, I think, are really easy to anthropomorphize.
Have you named it?
Mine is called Jelly Bean because it's green and looks like a jelly bean.
That's nice.
Okay. Okay, I just found it, Sandra. Well, I found the in serial number. Sandra. Oh, where's Sandra? Oh, Sandra, I think I've got it.
You've got what? Sorry.
I think I've got the name. It's called Bryant's.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And
So-
I'm just gonna forward, if you don't mind and you don't like spread all this around, I'm just gonna forward you the last service agreement they just sent to me,
Thank
and
you.
it has everything in it.
But
This should-
Bryant is the same brand as Carrier. They're made in the same
Yes,
factory.
Bryant
It's like
and
cheaper,
Carrier.
but just as good.
Yep, that's what he told us. That's what our guy told us. Here you go, heading your way. I got it. It has model,
you so
serial
much.
number, everything. Bryant. I couldn't remember if it was, I know we had to change halfway through and I think we started with a Czech product and then that wasn't available.
You started with what?
A Czech product of some kind and that wasn't available. So we switched.
And you're very happy with it, right?
Super. It's great.
I mean, I have to buy 2 systems, so it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Well, I'm looking at the minimum $30,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Then you probably should go for Bryant because it is cheaper and it is just as good.
But actually, strange enough, one of the products I'm being offered is Bosch, you know, which is
Really?
competitive
They
for
do a
Sharp
heat
and
pump? They do a heat pump? I
Yes,
didn't know that.
yes, and they do furnaces, and they only began doing this in the US for 5-6 years, but people are raving about them.
Of course, because
And
it's
the
Bosch.
price is very reasonable, I think, because we're trying to get into the US
Compete.
market.
Yeah. I think that's a
So
great.
that's very tempting. But it's less common, down the line if you need repairs. Or...
Yes.
However, I'm told that for parts and help, they're very responsive. I mean, the manufacturer itself, Bosch. Well, thanks for that, Leah.
You're welcome. I just realized it was probably in some email somewhere. So,
good thinking.
yes, yes. Yep. So things will get a lot less hectic, you guys, after this weekend. For me, I'll have a little bit more time to focus on art classes and this kind of thing.
So you, how long is your warranty for, do you know?
I think 30 years. It's a long one.
For parts. But then
that I
labor
don't
is not,
know.
but not
That
labor.
I don't know.
It's usually 10 years.
Maybe 10. I'd have to take a look. That I'd have
Okay.
to find. That I don't have the bandwidth for. But right now, I'll look at it later.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Be right back.
I hear a squirrel complaining outside. Arguing with the cats. You've got to be kidding me.
Next week, we'll play around with some ideas about how to get some of these out external textures if you want to. I'll experiment a little bit with that. I can already see this needs to come up a little bit. I'm going to do a little correcting of my but I feel like I want to make sure you guys get your, your painting really does not need to do what mine does. I'm more just interested in talking to you about technique, but I want you to look as well at like these bits of blue that were in the under, that they were from the something else, how much they already start to inform a little bit of what's going on. Interesting. The underpainting influences. It has an influence. Even if you cover it up, it still affects how your top layers look. I've had students who are like, we don't really understand how that works. I'm like, I know it seems weird, but it's really true. Let's see. And we've got about 10 minutes left, so. Oh, look at her. Nice to see Muka up and around. I'm going to send you a picture of her because she's looking super cute right now. Here we go. Muka. Look up, baby. Look up, baby. Of course, now you're not looking at Muka. There she is. She's spending a lot more time sleeping because she's an old girl, but there she is. She's a good girl. She finds all these young, dumb cats who are running after things really irritating. She's like, well, come on, Susan. Come on, baby. Okay. Shall I come to you? Okay.
Leah, how do you recommend dealing with the table surface
Well, it's,
to also get
I don't think you deal with it. It's too
Okay.
small. Just look for your lights and your darks. Don't deal with
Okay.
it. It's too small. What are you working? 20 by 30 centimeters, something like that. Like, it's just not there. See, that's where like, what you do want to do is pay attention to these darks, shadows that are
Yeah.
cast by the objects. That's the only thing you really need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest is just the same color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your brush will automatically add a little texture. It's just such a little area. Look at how much it is.
Mhm.
It's so little in the scheme of things, right? It's so small. This is really the only part of the table that you actually see, right? It's so little. Maybe a little bit in here. It's just not even worth getting into it. But also your brush will, because you're using watercolor particularly, will just create a little texture.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's looking nice, Anik. Very nice.
Yeah. I
Yep.
just thought about what you said about silver, and I thought, like, it's outside, it's a rainy day.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you did there with the background. Very interesting. Oh, it's
Of
gonna be
course, it's the
fun.
first layer, but
Yeah, this is exactly it. Why doesn't everybody stop where you're at and send it over? And then I'm gonna have you send it over so I can see it closely, and then we're gonna hold it up. So I will remove the spotlight. Send it first, because I want to see it. And then we'll hold them up. Wherever they're at. You can see all the blue splotches from the underpainting in on mine. I'm gonna have to work to incorporate those in. Very nice. I like to look at them close up and then to look at them. Oh, Emma, wow. Oh, Sandra. Yep, 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 yep. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Annika and Emma. Wow. You got this. It's
Oh, I love that thing.
wonderful.
Anik.
Oh,
and Emma, that's wonderful.
They all look terrific.
That's
They
light
all
at the
look
back.
terrific. So here's where I really hope in this next quarter, you guys really start to explore how you do things, right? The demonstration that I'm giving you, so hold them up so we can just see them all kind of, right? Where they are, hold them up. Wonderful, wonderful. These are wonderful. Oh my God, they're just terrific. So I love that you're at this phase where you're starting to learn what it is that you do, right? And my job is just to keep getting you kind of technique wise, how do I start? How do I kind of layer? How do I continue? Everybody's in great shape. We'll just continue this next week. Bravo, everybody. Bravo. Yay. Well, we won't continue it next week because next week we'll have a little party, but
in 2 weeks.
Yes, in 2 weeks. Really fabulous work. It's such a pleasure, you guys, really. Thank you for being patient with the squirrel. We'll see everybody next week. Take care. Hopefully see some of you tomorrow or Sunday.
Bye.
Yep, absolutely.